Welcome back to Decked Out.
On today's episode, we are joined by Joe Cherries and Maldhound, and today we will be showcasing some of Joe Cherries' favorite deck builds.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Tales of Adventure, Moxfield, and Ultimate Guard, and today's featured sponsor, the Elven Throne Kickstarter. But more on all of them later in the episode.
That's enough from us for now. Let's go ahead and meet the players.
Hi everybody, my name's Maldhound. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, touching cards, attempting to touch hearts, and most importantly, telling you if I'd touch your commander's parts. Today, since I am the tallest person at the table, I get the biggest creature, and I'll be playing the Maelstrom Wanderer. I'll also be playing Karuga as my companion, so this deck has to count to 3 before it can do anything, at which point I will attempt to cast to 8, resolve my commander, and pray to Yu-Gi-Moto that I cascade into good stuff.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe Cherries, former nitpicking nerd, current badass. Today, I'm playing one of my favorite decks of all time, Henzi Toolbox Tour with Umori Companion. The whole point of this deck is to play Henzi and blitz everything over and over and over again, redraw new cards, and guess what you do with those? You actually blitz them. Current badass, so dumb. It sounds so dumb. Let's see.
Hello everybody, I'm MTGNerdGirl, and today my good friend Joe has brought me Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn. I love life gain decks, and this unicorn will put counters on my creatures anytime I gain life on any turn during that end step. So my deck is full of cards that can take advantage of life gain triggers on my opponent's turn and mine. So that's going to be cards like Shattered Angel, Authority of Councils. I'm going to get a ton of life gain, and my creatures are going to get super big.
I'm VeggieWagon, sometimes known as Beador or Anthony, and I'm going to be playing my mother, Zyra the Golden Sting. This is a Jund control deck, which is out of my comfort zone because I don't normally like 1-for-1s or even 2-for-1s, but her ability ensures that I am going to continue to get value and more card advantage out of those, so maybe I can make this work.
Today's episode is sponsored by the Elven Throne Kickstarter.
I have been a fan of board games my entire life. It is one of my favorite things to do with my friends, and anytime we have not working or playing Magic, I spend playing board games. And Elven Throne is one of my new favorites. Forge an alliance and strategize your way to the throne in a game of actions and counteractions featuring 7 houses with unique powers.
I'm going to discard an action card, and I'm going to try and activate the dragon to remove 2 tiles within range 3.
Oh, shoot.
With 50 characters and variable setup options and multiple win condition, each playthrough is a unique experience.
All right, I'm gonna discard this action card, and I'd like to activate the Thief to steal an action card from a player within 5 range of me. I'm gonna go and steal your card, nerd girl.
Rude.
The rules are simple, but the gameplay is deep. The object of the game is to hold the Elven Throne for 2 rounds, but you can win alone or with other players.
All right, my final action in this round, Aurora is going to make a surprising appearance, which means that we are going to tie for influence over the Elven Throne.
All right, bring it on.
Well, we could be good time boys and win this game together.
Good time, boys?
Good time boys.
Make sure to use the link in the description to check out this Kickstarter for yourself.
And when you get there, make sure to click notify me on launch so you don't miss the release of this new board game. It's gonna be live in a couple weeks, or maybe it's live already. I don't know when you're gonna watch this episode.
That's enough from us for now. Let's go ahead and get into the game.
Let's roll to see who goes first.
Ooh.
2.
Yeah.
Wait.
8.
11.
I think 11 wins.
I had a 9.
I didn't mess up at all. smooth like butter. I guess I'm first. I will draw. All right, I will shock myself with a Stomping Ground and play Delighted Halfling. Delighted Halfling is a mana dork that taps for a colorless mana, or for legendary creatures, it taps for any color. And pass the turn.
I'm going to go ahead and play a Bountiful Promenade. It will come into play untapped thanks to all of my wonderful opponents. And I'm going to play Avacyn's Pilgrim, taps for a Plains. I will pass.
Hey, Tapland. Hey, you know what? Go ahead. I won't take up any more of your time. Go ahead.
Right, yeah. I'm just gonna draw a card, and like we're not gonna do anything wild here in turn 1. I'm just gonna play a Bloodstained Mire, and I'm gonna crack that for a land. I'm just gonna find this Bayou, and then I'm gonna
The
pay
foil Bayou?
the foil Bayou. Yeah, I'm gonna pay 1 for Deathrite Shaman. It has a few abilities on it. It's 1/2. I can tap, exile land from a graveyard to add 1 mana of any color. I can pay a black and tap and exile an instant or sorcery from a graveyard to make you all lose 2 life. Or I can pay a green and tap and exile a creature from a graveyard and I gain 2 life. Seems all right. I'll pass turn.
Oh, it's very good. Carplusian Forest. I will ouchie myself with my Carplusian Forest, and we will cast Henzi Toolbox Tour. Who costs Jund and is a 3/3. Each creature with mana cost 4 or greater has Blitz. The Blitz cost is equal to its mana cost. Blitz cost you pay costs 1 less for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. So currently that is 1. I have cast my commander 1 time from the command zone. Pass.
We are all dead.
Oh, you have an experience with this card?
I know what that card looks like at $50.
I'll tap 2. I'm going to play an Auroch Champion, a 1/1 with protection from black and red, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield, I get to gain a life. Maldhound, this 1/1 elf is for you. I know how much you like them.
When I get to my turn and I draw the 2-drop that I am manifesting into this deck right now,
Then I won't hit you with my elf.
Well, to be fair, it's a human.
Yep. But if it's
Oh,
hitting,
it is?
if it's
Yeah.
hitting, no. If it's hitting Maul, then it's
No,
then it's
if,
an elf.
if it's a thing hitting me with green, it's a dirty elf.
I thought for sure that was an elf. All right, that's it. Pass.
Play Tropical Island, and you know what? Hey, you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm holding up Interaction.
I want to know how hopeful you were for that 2-drop that in your Karuga deck.
Deeply.
I'm gonna play Agadim the Undercrypt, and I'm gonna pay 3 life. Thank you. And then I'm gonna tap 1, 2, and exile this land for 3 to play Grist the Hunger Tide. 3 loyalty Planeswalker. As long as it's not on the battlefield, it's also a 1/1 insect. +1, make a 1/1 insect, and then mill a card. If that card is an insect, then I put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat. -2, I can sack a creature, and when I do, I destroy a creature or planeswalker, and then I can -5. All of you lose life equal to the number of creature cards in my graveyard. I thought this deck was going to be out of my comfort zone, but with Grist the Hunger Tide, I am right at home. And the combination of Grist and Deathrite Shaman is fantastic because it will always have something to feed to the Shaman.
Is that your aunt?
No. It's my aunt.
Aunt Grist.
Okay, get him.
I think we're just going to plus Grist. I'll make an insect and I will mill this card. It is just a land, so I won't get to do it again, but I will get an insect.
That was probably your best hit, having a Deathrite Shaman on the
Oh
field.
yeah. I'll pass the turn.
With the insect coming into play, I will gain 1 life.
I'm going to play this Rockfall Veil. And, all right, I'm going to pay 2 mana here to just play a Tangled Floor Hedron, which is another mana dork that is a land on the other side.
I'll gain a life.
Well, I got 3 damage to throw around. I will swing this. Actually, I can swing both of these because I'm not using them. I will send these 2 at Grist.
It's not nice. I'll block Henzi.
That makes sense. And then I will pass to NerdGirl.
I remember what that grist did to me in another life, so I'm not gonna let that live. Let's start by casting my commander. Lathliel is a unicorn. It's a 2/2 with lifelink at the beginning of each end step. If I gained life this turn, I get to distribute that many +1/+1 counters among other creatures I control. And when a creature comes into play, I will indeed gain a life. I'm going to come across to Grist for 1 with the Auroch Champion. Moved my end step, and I'll use Lathiel's ability to put a +1/+1 counter on the champion because I gained 1 life, and I'll pass.
I'm God's favorite little prince. Yes, I am. Yes. we are going to do a
I think
little.
that's the first time that's worked for you on the show.
It sure is. We're going to do a little flippy floppy under the table. I'm going to play Turn Timber Serpentine Wood, paying 3 life so that it comes into play untapped. And now it's Karuga-ing time. And by that, I mean we're going to play a mana dork. I'm going to play the Shaman of Forgotten Ways. I can tap them to add 2 mana in any combination of colors, but they can only be used on creature spells. And then, I need everyone to be cool. We're all friends here. I can pay 9 mana and tap it, and then every player's life total becomes equal to the number of creatures they control. I can only activate it if my creatures have total power 8 or more, and it's 11 mana. It's not gonna happen. How would I get there? The deck doesn't have a lot of mana dorks. I don't have 4 more in my hand. Everybody be cool. I passed to Veggie.
Wait. I get to gain a life when that comes into play. And when you pass to Veggie, my commander says each end step, so I will get to use its ability again, and I'll put another counter onto the champion.
Oh, we are boned.
Yeah, this is very powerful because the ways to answer it are going to be read in black. So, yeah, that is a troublesome card.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You're the control deck.
I don't think so. I'm going to play this Field of the Dead. Everybody be cool about that. And then I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, exiling my Undergrowth Stadium to play a Morbid Opportunist. Whenever one or more other creatures die, I draw a card, and it can trigger once each turn. And we're going to trigger it right now. Gris is going to -2. I'm going to sacrifice his Deathrite Shaman. We got to get Lathiel out of here, at least for now.
Okay.
I will draw off of the Opportunist.
I'll gain a life when the opportunist comes into play.
Yeah. That's his turn.
Now, Veggie's choice to get rid of Lathiel is a good one, but is it the best one? I don't know. Having played both of these decks many times, I know Henzi was the bigger threat, but no one else knows it. All right, so we're tapping 5 mana, and we're going to go big on our blitzes. One of my favorite cards of all time. We have Atali, Primal Storm. This is the serial one, but when he attacks, everyone flips the top card of the library, and I can cast all the non-lands.
Serialized cards were a mistake.
You're on fire this video, Veggie. Legit, you're just making me laugh. You're hitting all the notes. You're there. And we're going to go 6 at, I think, NerdGirl, who is the life gain deck. Before damage, we have the
No
triggers,
blocks.
flipping everything.
Well, thankfully, this is a land. I hate you.
So I'll take this Trigon Predator. I'll take this Blossoming Bog Beast, and I will trade Louth, who I love. This land that for me will just go into exile and remain there.
I'll take 6.
When Trigon Predator deals damage, I can destroy an artifact from that player. Louth is going to make spiders and draw me cards. And Blossoming Bog Beast is going to be a mini little life gain overrun.
So I'll gain 1 from the Atali, and then the trigger for the Atali will put 2 creatures onto the battlefield. I'll get 2 more, and then I will say no blocks and take 6 to the face.
Tapped land for turn here. And then we will -3 Louth to make 2 very, very cute spiders. And I don't usually say that because spiders are not cute objectively, but these ones are. So we will go to my end step. I will sacrifice this, draw a card off it dying, and Louth will also get 1 loyalty because of the death.
I'm also going to draw a card.
Yeah. Oh, that's good against my deck. Oh, I don't like you drawing cards. You have all the answers. Oh, take it away, NerdGirl.
There's a problem over there, and I can't solve it. I don't want to miss my land drop, so I'm going to play a Skyclave Basilica tapped. I'm also going to play Kodama of the West Tree, a 3/3 with reach that says modified creatures I control have trample. If a modified creature I control deals combat damage to a player, search my library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. So thankfully I have one of those. That's going to help me recast Lathiel soon. I'll gain a life when it comes into play. And Veggie, I'm going to come in for 3 to ya. Protection from black. Not that it would have mattered. I'd love for you to block, but...
Yeah, well, I won't do that.
And when a modified creature does its thing, I will find a forest with my Kodama of the West Tree. It'll come into play tapped. I'm also going to admit that I came up with a plan and then played that plan out of order, and I will wrap up my turn with a Soul's Attendant. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, I get to gain a life, but I will still gain a life from the champion, so I missed out on 1.
I continue to top deck the outs, and for this deck, the outs are apparently mana pips. I'm going to play Sulphur Falls, which will enter untapped because of my tropical island, and then we are going to tap out. I'm going to pay 6 mana and play the Tomb of Horrors Adventurer, a 4/4 that gives me the initiative, and then whenever I cast my second spell each turn, copy it. If I've completed a dungeon, I copy the spell twice. So right now, I'm taking the initiative. I don't know what that does.
Before you adventure into the dungeon, I will get 2 life now, 1 from the Soul's Attendant and 1 for the champion.
Perfect. Since I've taken the initiative, I will venture into the Undercity. The first step being search my library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into my hand, and then put any other cards I want on top of my deck, and then shuffle. I'm going to take a mountain. Nobody worry about what I might need those red for. It's Inferno Titan, the best card in Commander. From there, I will pass the turn. So now if anybody hits me, you take the initiative, and you also begin venturing into the Undercity.
Okay. Well, looks like we all have equal board states.
What a bad, no good day for Veggie, huh? Oh, cool, the Deathrite Shaman. Oh, cool, the Grist.
He got everything he wanted.
All right, well, dealing with the problem after the fact fixes all the problems, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna pay 3 for Hagra Mauling. I have an opponent that does not have any basic lands, so this costs 1 less.
Same here.
And I will destroy Henzi.
All right, Henzi is going to die, and we will put a loyalty counter onto Louth.
And I will draw a card.
And you will draw a card.
And hopefully that will answer every other problem on the board. Yeah, I'll just play this Mana Confluence and pass the turn.
All right, I'll start my turn off with zeroing Louth, losing 1 life, and drawing a card. We will then play a tapped Ziatora's Proving Ground, which is a tri-land. We're going to cast Green Warden of Marasa, which will return the Atali to my hand. And when it dies, it can do the same thing by exiling itself from my graveyard.
I'll gain 2.
I could probably throw around like 20-ish, not 20, maybe like 12 damage. But is it worth losing Louth over? Probably not, but I will attack with this. NerdGirl will send just this. I will gain 2 life, and then this will get +2/+2. So a 5/5 coming at you.
No blocks.
And then I will pass the turn. Turtling up over here.
I'm going to just recast my commander for 6, which is a lot, but that's fine. We already met Lathiel, but as a reminder, I'll get some counters if I've gained life, which I will get 2 triggers for. When a creature comes into play, I'll gain 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to combat, and I really need lands because I'm going to miss it again. So Veggie, I got 3 for you, unfortunately. And I have a modified creature that has dealt damage, so I can get a land and put it onto the battlefield, a basic land, and put it onto the battlefield tapped. And then I'm going to go ahead and move to my end step, and I will put some counters on some things because I did, in fact, gain 2 life this turn. I want more modified creatures, so we're going to put 1 on Kadama, and I'm going to put 1 onto the Auroch Champion because it's doing good work for me. My board state looks pretty scary, but honestly, so does Joe's. Everybody's doing a lot of crazy things, so even though my deck is kind of going off, it doesn't feel that strong. Pass the turn.
Okay, I will untap in my upkeep. I will move on in the Undercity. I will move into the Lost Well, which lets me scry 2 conveniently before I have to draw for turn. Is lands on top? I don't need those.
What?
Whoa.
You don't need lands?
So now I'll draw. This is a funny deck you made.
Joe's a funny,
This is a funny
person.
deck.
That deck is silly.
Okay, I'm gonna play a mountain for turn, and depending on the resolution of this next thing, I may be willing to accept my position as the problem. I'm going to tap 7 mana, 2 of which are red. And I'm gonna play good Atali. So we're all gonna go back to gambling. We're gonna exile off the top until we hit a non-land, and then I get the non-land. Without further ado.
No. I don't even know what it does, but I want to keep this card.
Take My Little Pony, the Crested Sun Mare, which is a 5/5. Other horses you control have indestructible. At the beginning of each end step, if you've gained life this turn, create a 5/5 white horse creature. Yeah.
Can you guys stop touching my stuff?
I'm doing the Lord's work right now. I will also take a Timeless Witness to return a target card from graveyard to my hand.
Speaking of graveyards, how about you deal damage equal to the number of instant and sorceries?
And then I will deal X damage to each creature and planeswalker I don't control, where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in my graveyard. Got him. I am not the problem. I am our savior. Literally, all I did was stop this from becoming indestructible.
I will, however, gain 6 life.
I hate it here. That is true. You will do that. And then I will pass the turn.
At the end step, I'll get some counters. Let's just put 2 here, and I don't know, 2 here, and sure, 2 here.
I'm gonna make the board very lopsided right now. I'm gonna play this mountain, then I'm gonna tap 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna play a damnation.
Oh no.
Damn.
By all creatures, no regeneration.
Okay, well, all my horses are indestructible, though.
That's true. All your other horses are indestructible.
No.
You can have this back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will put Louth to 10.
I'll even get to draw off the Morbid Opportunist.
And I can choose to exile this to return something, which I think, weirdly, I am going to do. I'm going to put this into exile, and I'm going to bring back Timeless Witness Genius, which gets something else back. I've demonstrated a loop
But-
that
oh,
ends right now.
Okay.
All right. That did hurt my mana quite a bit. I had mana dorks were doing work for me.
Now all you've got is a lull with 10 counters. That's
Yeah. Oh, the woes. Oh, woes. My poor planeswalker.
All right, so let's play a Haunted Ridge as my land for turn. Laus ult is so bad that I think I'm going to use her real ult, 0, to lose a life and draw a card. We are going to play the Timeless Witness. Timeless Witness is an Eternal Witness effect, so when it enters, I can return anything from my graveyard to my hand. We'll make that Delighted Halfling, which we'll play for 1 mana. Pass to the Nerd Girl.
All right. We've got 5 mana for a Silverback Elder. A 5/7 that says whenever I cast a creature spell, I can choose one of the following. I can destroy an artifact or an enchantment. I can look at the top 5 cards, put a land from among them onto the battlefield, tap, put the rest onto the bottom in a random order, or I can gain 4. But for now, it is just a big backside to prevent this. And that's gonna do it. I'm still gonna miss this land drop.
Okay. I will untap in my upkeep, choose to go to Arena. I think I've used up all my luck for the day, and I'm going to go the Delighted Halfling to force you to at least tap it down. Yeah, it was not God's favorite little prince. I'm going to tap 3 for the Decanter of Endless Water, which is a mana rock that breaks the maximum hand size rule. I will tap 3 more for Selvala, Heart of the Wilds. So whenever a creature enters the battlefield, any of us, its controller can draw a card if its power is the biggest on the board, and then I can pay a green and tap it to add X mana, where X is the total number of muscles I have on my creatures, so they're the greatest power amongst them. From there, I will pass the turn.
I'm gonna play the City of Brass. And
Ooh, you got the Confluence Brass combo.
right? That's great. So much damage to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and here she is. 0, the Golden Sting. 3/3, flying, haste, and when she attacks, put an egg counter on another creature without an egg counter on it. When a creature dies, if it has an egg counter on it, I draw a card and make a 1/1 flying insect. And we're going to combat. Yeah.
I got you.
That's 3. And then I'm going to put an egg on... I'll put it on the Witness.
What are you up to over there?
I have vetoed Veggie's egg. His sucks.
This is much better.
I'll pass the turn.
All right. I'm going to use Laus Ultimate. Lose a life, draw a card.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I think instead of playing Henzi, because I don't have any good plays involving Henzi this turn, we'll go for a nice setup turn. Tap Delighted Halfling for a colorless mana, and we will play Beast Whisperer. That says when I cast a creature, I draw a card. Then we'll tap 4, and we'll cast another creature, which will be Bramble Sovereign, who says whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, I can pay 1 in the green to make a token copy of it.
In response to your cast trigger from Beast Whisperer,
Yes, it is on the stack.
I'm going to pay 2. A painful 2. Orcish Bowmasters, totally fine card. 1/1 with flash. When it enters the battlefield and whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one in their draw step, it deals 1 damage to any target and then amass Orcs 1. On ETB, I'm going to deal 1 damage to Timeless Witness.
It will die.
I'm going to make an insect, and I'm going to draw a card, and I'm going to amass Orcs 1. There's my Orc army. They have 1 counter on them, and then if you would like to draw your card.
I will draw off that trigger.
All right. Orc army goes up to 2. I'm going to deal a damage to nothing else on the board can die to that, so we'll deal 1 to lull.
And that will be my turn. Take it away, Nerd Girl.
So Maldhound, if I let you also hit me and also throw all future wrath at this and lull, can I hit you 1 time and go like little takesy backsies?
Yeah, as long as I get my get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
but it's gonna also hit pretty hard
That's fine.
because it's a giant ape.
That's fine.
Okay, 5 damage.
I declare no blocks.
Okay, so I will steal the Undercity, which allows me to search for a basic and put it into my hand. Oh, thank you. Needed that. Okay, I will get this Plains and I'll put it into my hand. Thanks, Undercity. For 6, I'm going to cast a Nykthos Paragon. It's a 4/6 human soldier. This is whenever I gain life, I may put that many +1/+1 counters on a creature I control. Do this only once per turn. Unfortunately, the silverback is when I cast it, so it wouldn't work. I don't want to do artifacts, but I do want to get a land and try to ramp some more because I will put a exotic orchard onto the battlefield. Tapped. And then I will pass the turn.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to do something a little bit funky. So I drew my card for turn. I'm going to tap 7 because...
Wait, if you do this, you can't attack me.
I know, it is worth it. I am going to hold you to it in a turn when I can pop you, but I am going to tap out, tapping 7 mana since Sylvala taps for 2 right now, and I'm going to play my little friend Nezahal Primal Tide. 7/7, uncounterable, not that it matters. I no longer have a maximum hand size. Anytime one of my opponents casts a non-creature spell, I draw a card and I can discard 3 cards to exile Nezahal and return it to the battlefield tapped at the beginning of the next end step. I'm pretty sure that if I ignore the initiative to play Nezahal, I will just lock up the entire game because next turn Sylvala will untap for 7 mana, and at that point, what could stop me? I do draw a card from Sylvala, so you will get a Bowmaster's trigger.
We all still, I think, are in agreement that Lolth is the biggest threat on the board, so I'll do 1 damage to Lolth.
Leave my Phyrexian Arena alone.
Pass the turn.
I'm going to play this snow-covered forest, and I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands with different names, so I will make a zombie from Field of the Dead. And let's just head right to combat. Zira is going to swing at NerdGirl. It flies.
No blocks.
Okay, what am I egging? I'm going to put it on this Bramble Sovereign. Thanks for the tip, Joe.
You butt.
for no particular reason.
Yeah. I'm going to take the initiative. Whoop. And I'm going to search for a basic. I'll put this swamp into my hand, and I will totally not suspiciously pass the turn.
Stop.
With all
why did
mana
I give you
up.
this deck? That was such a bad choice. Cast Henzi for 5, trigger on the Beast Whisperer.
Okay.
I will draw a card.
I will trigger Orchestra Bowmasters. This goes 4, and I will, Nurgle take 1.
I will then tap 4 mana because I have double reduction, and I will blitz Noxious Gearhulk. 6 mana, 5/5 with menace, and when it enters, I can destroy a creature and gain life equal to its toughness. On cast, I will draw a card.
All right. Nurgle take 1 more.
As it enters, I'm going to choose to kill the Orcish Bowmasters.
Counterspell. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do about that.
Okay,
so
we'll game 1. Louth, minus, do your other ultimate, making 2 spiders. Yeah, we'll send a 5/4 over here, Veginald.
Veginald?
A truly horrible way.
I'm going to, before blocks, pay 1, 2, 3. And I am going to channel Takenuma. So I'm going to mill 3 and then return a creature or planeswalker from my graveyard to my hand. So we've got Exotic Orchard, Wooded Foothills, and a Beast Within. And Bowmasters is Bowmasters. I think I'm just going to return this Bowmasters to my hand. And then still before blockers, I will recast it. I'm going to deal 1 to Lolth. I'm going to up my Orc army by 1. And then I will block with the Orc army and the insect.
All right, I'll put all 5 damage on the insect, I suppose.
Generally, I don't play with Orcish Bowmasters in many of my decks because it makes me think too much and it will warp the games that it's in. But if I'm handed an Orcish Bowmasters, I'm going to play that card and I'm going to play it more than once.
And it'll die, and unfortunately, I will draw a card.
Oh, that's pretty great. I'm going to put a counter on this, and I will thank you for your services, Lolth.
Well, no, Lolth is going to get a counter
Oh, yes, that's true.
because a creature died.
because my creature died, and I will stack those in the right order so I get a counter before you can ping her.
And then I'll ping her.
Okay, that's fair. All right, and then I think that's my whole turn here, so we're going to head to my end step where I have to discard because my hand is very full.
I'll hit this one with a monkey, you hit this one with a whale.
Yeah.
You're going to hit me with the Sylvala, not the whale, right? If I get that back?
I don't think I'm going to hit you next turn at all.
I'd like to be hit by a smaller thing if
I
possible.
either won't hit you or will hit you with Sylvala.
Okay.
I will not put Nemo or any of...
Nemo? There's
Nemo-
whales in that movie.
Sorry, Nemo's extremely large son.
I'm going to tap 5. I'm going to cast Solitude. It's a flash life linking 3/2, and when it enters the battlefield, I can exile one other target creature. Its controller gains life equal to that creature's power. And I'm going to target the Orc army. And when I cast the creature, I will choose to gain 4 life with the Elder. And so that 4 life gain will go on to the Paragon and to the Elder for 4 counters each. You get to gain 7.
Right. I like that.
Which makes me feel less bad about hitting you for 17.
I'm going to put this zombie in front of the Silverback Elder.
Okay.
And I'm going to pay 1, because there's just not been any targets for this. For a Nature's Claim, destroy target artifact or enchantment, its controller gains 4 life. So you get to gain life. That's what you want to do, right? I'm going to target the Nykthos Paragon.
And I'm going to draw a card for Nezahal.
And then I will get an Orcish Bowmaster trigger. So you'll gain your 4. You draw a card.
Yeah.
The Orc army is back. And we'll ping Loth for 1.
No!
Let's go!
My spider lady, who's actually your spider lady.
And that's the best I can do.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to untap. I'm going to tap Decanter of Endless Water to pay into Selvala for 7 mana, and I'm going to attempt to resolve Zendikar Resurgent, which is an enchantment that says whenever I tap a land for mana, I add 1 mana to my pool of any type that land produced, and whenever I cast a creature spell, draw a card for my good time boy Veggie.
I'll give you your Nykthos Paragon back if I can have this Nature's Claim back.
I just wanted the second ability.
Me too.
Now, as Joe pointed out, I very much have the mana to cast Maelstrom Wanderer. I'm not going to do that.
You're not a true Maelstrom Wanderer player.
I'm not, no, but what I am is I am a true Apex Devastator player.
Cooler!
And so I will instead cascade 4 times after drawing a card to the Zendikar Resurgent trigger.
Orc army goes up by 1, and I will hit you in the face for 1.
Hey, so real. Now we're going to cascade for 10 4 times. First, we're going to get Eternal Witness. So they're going to enter the battlefield. Since I cast a creature spell, I'm going to draw a card. Veggie, you will get, I believe, yet another Bowmaster's trigger.
I guess I should have played this differently, but we'll give it a shot. I will aim 1 damage at Selvala.
Very reasonable. So with the Eternal Witness ETBs, which I believe resolves before the cascades keep going, I will choose a card from my graveyard to get back. I'm going to get Good Atali. And I'm going to put Atali Primal Conqueror back to my hand. Now we're going to go for the second of 4 cascade triggers. Mind's Dilation, 7 mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts his or her or their first spell each turn, that player exiles the top card of his or her or their library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. That's so cool.
I love this deck so much.
We're now going to go for the third of 4 cascade 10 triggers. And I believe Veggie will be dead by the end of this. Regal Behemoth. When it enters the battlefield, I become the Monarch. Whenever I tap a land for mana while I'm the Monarch, add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. So now I tap for 3 mana at a time. And I will draw another card for Zendikar Resurgent, and Veggie,
I will deal 1 damage to Selvala.
So Selva's on 1 toughness now. And we're going to do the last cascade trigger. Sunbird's Invocation. Whenever I cast a spell from my hand, reveal the top X cards of my library, where X is the spell's mana value. I can cast a spell with mana value X or less from among cards revealed this way without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. I'm pretty sure I cleared over 20 mana of permanence from my cascade triggers, proving that I am even luckier than Joe Cherries Atali. So I'm pretty sure I have this now, which is going to stop us just short of the legendary 3 damage necessary.
You would think.
Oh, I would think.
But this is about to enter the battlefield and draw you a card because so.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if this is a May. It's controller May.
Oh, no.
I do not have to. So Apex Devastator will now enter the battlefield. I will decline Selvala's trigger to draw 1 more card, and I will move to combat. I am most afraid of Joe. Oh, you have Henzi out. Yeah, no, okay, you will not fool me. You're taking.
And they still have the Atali in play or in their hand too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and swing 7 at you.
All right. You squashed a spider.
I will pass the turn. From there on my end step, I believe I draw one more card, which is going to get Selvala killed, so I should have just drawn for the Apex Devastator.
I'm going to move to the Lost Well and scry through 2.
2.
Those are going right to the bottom. I will draw for the turn. Not the card I need, but it makes me happy. I will play this Swarm Yard.
Yes! It's one of the coolest cards in the deck.
You can tap it to regenerate target insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. Weirdly relevant in even on your board. I'll make a zombie from Field of the Dead.
We could be good time boys, Veggie. You don't have to die here. There's so many other threats on the board I could be persuaded to mess with instead of you.
Nerdgirl, are we good time boys? Okay, great.
We can't all be good time boys.
Wait, we just all became good time boys.
You wouldn't even share the Undercity with me.
Oh, are we not good time boys?
I guess
You
not.
did attack for 17
Right.
for the other city. It wasn't like 2, it was like 17.
Well, because I thought I had to, because there were tokens.
I'm going to go to combat. Joe, 0 is for you, but I am going to put an egg counter onto Apex Devastator for no reason in particular.
I don't know if the spider gets better than gaining 3 life, honestly. So I think I will use it to gain 3 life.
Gain 3 commander life. I'm going to pay 5 for Sir Conrad.
Oh, that's so good.
Totally a fine card.
Sir Conrad, I see. So that is how this deck can close out the game. It's a lot easier with opponents that have already taken some damage, but I'm not sure how effective it's going to be against NerdGirl, who still has a very healthy life total.
And I'm going to have a trigger. You are now going to exile the top card of your library, and we're going to see if it's non-land or not.
There's one thing I've learned. Mind's Dilation, it hits lands so much. I swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
I will, I'll pass the turn.
Start off with this land, which is a bad land. We will blitz Druid of Purification. When it enters the battlefield, starting with me, each player can choose an artifact or enchantment I don't control, and it is destroyed. Now, if you're going to do anything in response, I don't know if you are, you have to do it now before votes are cast, because the card...
Yes, well, before it even ETBs, you are going to go ahead and Mind's Dilation for me.
That is true. I will Mind's Dilation for you, which it is Steve.
I will cast it without paying its mana cost.
Yep. You will draw a card.
And I will draw a card. Veggie, you will get a trigger.
Cool. I think if I can take creatures off the board, I will. So, boo, boo, boo. Bye, Eternal Witness.
Yes, which will cause the trigger of Sir Conrad.
As I planned. Yes, that's right.
We will all lose a life. Or I will draw off the cast from Beast Whisperer. Veggie will get another. Why is Orcish Bowmaster so... I tried to kill the stupid thing. Oh, that thing is so dumb.
It's great. I'm going to deal a damage to... Maybe people will draw... I'll deal a damage to Bramble Sovereign.
It does have a damage on it. Okay, This will enter. Okay, so I will start my vote with the Zendikar Resurgence.
I'll get the Mana Rock.
So I'm going to keep one of my crazy enchantments. Cool.
All right.
Maldhound gave me a land when I was poor.
We're good time boys.
No, not the good time boys. It always comes back.
The return of the good time boys.
Oh, I am a good time boy. I think the Sunbirds is worse, and we're gonna hope that the Mind's Dilation continues to whiff. Sunbirds Invocation.
I'll keep Mind's Dilation. Zendikar, Decanter, and Sunbirds will go away.
That was a valuable land.
My final trigger of Bramble Sovereign. I will pay the 2 to make the clone, and I will vote for Mind's Dilation.
Oh my god, okay.
I tried. Sorry.
That's fine.
And there's no other choices on the board, so everyone else's vote doesn't matter. That's right, your vote never mattered. We'll pay 2 mana, and I will blitz Game Changer. Game Changer says, when it dies, I can choose to exile it from my graveyard. If I do, I reveal from the top of my deck until I hit a creature and put it onto the battlefield. All right, so on cast, I will Beast Whisper, draw a card.
Great. This one more to Bramble Sovereign.
Stop.
It's at 2.
And then I will go to combat. All right, well, just send 4 at NerdGirl.
I have nothing.
Okay, so take 4. Go to my end step. Okay, so first thing, sacrifice this one. Veggie, you will have a...
Sir Conrad trigger.
You have a Sir Conrad trigger. We'll each lose 1. Then I will draw a card. Veggie.
Bowmasters, damage to Bramble Sovereign,
Yes.
up to 3.
Up to 3 damage on it.
I really want to draw a card right now.
Now, this will die. We will have a Sir Conrad trigger. And then I will draw.
This will go to 10.
Yes, Bramble Softener will die. We will have a Sir Conrad trigger.
And then I'll have a 0 trigger. I'll draw a card and make another insect.
Yes. I will finish my last trigger now. Gamekeeper, which I will choose to exile. I will reveal until I hit a creature. Swamp. We have Grim Horror Specs. I was actually thinking I don't have enough card draw. So we will get this on the battlefield for free. All right, and I now have to discard, which will unfortunately trigger Sir Conrad the Grim. I'm going to discard the Atali. And I'm going to discard, again, Ancient Copper Dragon. I just can't play cards that don't get ETBs because you're just going to kill them before they get what they do.
That's right. Everybody take 2.
I can't help that. I'm sorry, people.
All right, I'm going to cast my pony for 8. Lathiel is back. 2/2 lifelink adds some counters. When I cast a creature, I will use the Elder to gain 4 life. If Veggie is a 10/10,
Yes.
shut up.
You asked me a question. It was just
And you also have a 10/10.
I sure do. And a 5/5 and a 1/1.
Joe,
Why?
9 is for you.
That's fair. I mean, I'll still say why.
Because you got a lot of dudes. And you're drawing a lot of cards. I don't like it.
I know, but every time I draw a card, this happens. Yeah, I don't think this 2/3 token just won't do better than gaining 9 life. So
All right.
we'll chump away.
I'm going to move to my end step. And I'm going to put 4 counters onto Solitude.
all right. If you're gonna crack me, you got it. But at the end of NerdGirl's turn, I am going to pay 1, 2, 3. Ow. And I'm going to cast Curtain's Call. It costs 1 less for each opponent I have, so that's 3 less for a total of 3. Destroy 2 target creatures. My targets are Apex Devastator and Regal Behemoth.
In response, sacrifice Steve. Now just back. I'm gonna go get a basic land.
Everybody lose.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip to losing 3, okay?
Yeah. And then both of these will die.
All right, so I'll take 2 more.
Yep. And then one of those had a little egg inside it. So I'm going to make another insect and draw a card.
Oh, and I'll draw 1 for Nezahal. Okay.
I'll ping you for 1.
Okay, great. I will move to my draw step. And now I really do have to just hope and pray that I am God's favorite little prince. I'm going to tap out and pay 8 for the Maelstrom Wanderer. So this is a 7/5. Creatures I control have haste, and it has Cascade, Cascades. We're going to do that again. Temur Ascendancy. Creatures I control have haste, and whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under my control, I can draw a card. The second trigger now.
Yes!
We are so back. Seagate Restoration, a sorcery. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in my hand plus 1. I have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. And we're all gonna die to Orcish Bowmasters
We're
now.
all going to die to Orcish.
Yeah, I think I am just dead now because I
have a response.
Okay.
I have a response. Before you draw your cards, the much anticipated but rarely seen instant speed blitz. I will flash in Necron Deathmark. As I cast, I will draw a card.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I can't stop that one.
Yeah, you're gonna hurt me, so I'm gonna deal 1 to you.
Yeah, I'll take the 1. And then as this enters, I am going to hit Orcish Bowmasters with the trigger, and I will mill myself 3 cards, which will most likely be creatures, sadly. 1, land. Creature, land. Now, Bowmaster is an amazing card. Everybody knows that. But somehow, some way, it still overperforms my expectations. I don't understand. I know it's one of the best cards ever printed. How is it overperforming? All right, so we will all lose 1, 2,
2, because the Bowmaster died and you milled a creature.
With Joe's Noble Interference out of the way, I will draw 12 cards in peace. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'll just pass and draw another card. So cool. Yeah, go off.
On Maldhound's end step, this will be sacrificed and die because it was blitz at instant speed, and I will draw a card off of its death and then draw another card off of its death.
All right, and then each of you will take 1 damage from Sir Conrad.
Yes, that is very true.
I will continue to move through the Undercity.
Oh, stop.
Treasure. More mana seems good. I'm not worried about the goad. I will play a swamp. I will get another zombie from Field of the Dead. Pay 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cast Balaged Recovery. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. As much as I want it to be Mortgage Bowmasters, I don't think anybody deserves the third round of Bowmasters. Instead, I'm going to find Immolating Gyre. I'm going to put that in my hand, but then I'm just going to cast it right away. So I'm going to deal X damage to each creature and each planeswalker I don't control. X the number of instant and sorcery cards in my graveyard. That number is 5.
Not my pony again. No.
So it's 6 total creatures.
I also get to draw 3 cards because of Grim Horror Specs.
And then we take 5 after.
Yep, because the Immolating Gyre also deals an additional 5 to each of you.
Oof.
I cannot get that pony to stay alive.
Let's see. Well, Joe's dead.
No.
Thanks for the deck. I'll send 12 and 1 insect, 13. These insects do fly, so I will send 1 more and Zira to... I now have to decide, is Nerdgirl going to do the Nerdgirl thing where it's like, oh, you look like totally out of this game, and then I get wrecked in the 1v1?
Probably not. My pony costs 30.
That's a good point. Mal, that's 4 to you in the air.
My
and
2/2.
I don't think I can get through that Solitude for the moment, so we'll chill on that.
You can just kill me if you...
Yeah, I'm not going to run Sir Conrad into that.
Because you're a coward.
Because I'm a coward.
Or is it worth it?
It's not worth it. I'll give you one more shot.
So I'll take 4.
I hit you, though, so I am the Monarch.
Yeah.
We've finally joined them together. Super Monarchy. Pass the turn. I will draw a card.
Never had this many cards and none that are useful.
So sad about my pony. All right, let's start with 1 mana for an Essence Warden. A 1/1. This is whenever another creature enters the battlefield, I gain a life. And when I cast the Essence Warden, rather than gain the life, I think I'm going to go ahead and get a land and put it into play. Oh, hell yeah. Strip Mine.
Oh, it is a land.
It is a land. We're also going to play the Authority of Councils. Creatures my opponents control enter tapped, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under my opponent's control, I also gain a life.
Oh, I'll draw a card from Nezahal.
Okay. Veggie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming in for all of the bits.
I will split these 2 zombies to block each of them.
So I will gain 7.
And I'll lose 2.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
Oh, and I will also lose 2. Yep.
You know what? I knew I wasn't going to win this one. The only thing I'm mad about is I had a Steam Vents in my hand and I was going to go out on my own terms.
On my second main, I'm going to cast a Shattered Angel. And Shattered Angel is a 3/3 flyer that says whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, I get to gain 3 life. And before it resolves, I'll get a second trigger from my Elder. I'm just going to go 5 more deep and see if I can get another land. I'm going to find a War Room. And unfortunately, that's going to do it for me. I feel like it's been a while since we've had the 1v1.
Yeah, it does not go well. Somebody, what's the record? Because I don't know.
You were definitely favored with the control deck in the 1v1.
But I think I'm at disadvantage with it being me versus Nerdgirl. At my upkeep, I will continue to move through the Undercity. I will get a 4/1 skeleton with menace. Yeah. Art. I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3 for Fire Covenant. As an additional cost to cast a spell, pay X life, deals X damage divided as I choose among any number of target creatures. I'm just going to get your blockers for 4.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll do another 6. Let's live dangerously. We'll get the Solid Jet out of here too.
Hey, you know what? 20.
And the girl will lose 3 off of Sir Conrad.
Then we'll go to combat. I will swing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 22. We will put an egg on the Silverback Elder. I don't think I can.
You can put it on your own creature, though.
Yeah, we'll egg this skeleton. So swinging for 22.
Oh, your skeleton will come in tapped, won't it? Because of Authority of the Consoles.
It will. I will continue to sequence correctly as I have all game. I will pay 1, 2, and play this Blood Artist and pass the turn.
And it will also come into play tapped.
It will also come into play tapped.
And I will, in fact, gain 1. Oh, and I gain 1 from the skeleton coming in. Well, we're not blocking, so 9.
No blocks?
Great. I'm going to tap 4 for the One Ring.
Yeah!
A legendary artifact that is indestructible. When it enters a battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life for each burden counter on the One Ring. I can tap it, add a burden counter to also draw for each burden counter. Oh my god, I cannot believe this top deck. I've never played a One Ring, but I can also not imagine a better time to play my first one. So now I'm gonna hope I can find an untapped land or something better, and I'll put a burden counter on it and draw. We got a Windswept Heath. I will pay 1 life to crack it, and I'll find a Savannah. And that gave me exactly enough mana to cast Amaria's Call. I'm gonna get 2 4/4 angel tokens. Okay, Veggie.
Upkeep. I'm gonna go to the Throne of the Dead 3. Thanks, Maldhound. We're.
Oh wait, no you're not. I get all these things. Didn't I hit you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did hit me. Yeah. You have all those things.
I will choose to go to the Forge, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and also on the end step I will draw for the Monarch.
Can't end like this.
Is the One Ring gonna get this game? That'd be dope.
Well, I will play a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth as my land for turn. I will make a zombie.
Comes into play tapped, and I'll gain a life.
Comes into play tap, you gain a life. I'll pay 2, I guess, for a Sakura Tribe Elder.
Gain a life.
You
It comes
gain
into
a
play
life.
tapped.
Comes into play tapped. I will pass the turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make you lose 5 life.
Pretty good.
Lose 1 life for the burden counter on my One Ring. You might be dead, but I want to just make sure that I do what I can. I'm going to cast Alhammaret's Archive, a legendary artifact that when I gain life, I gain twice as much. If you would draw a card except the first one each turn, you draw 2 cards instead. Okay, we'll start there. I'm going to draw with the ring. So I'll draw 4. And then I'm going to tap 5. I'm going to play Shamanic Revelation.
Oh my god.
I'm going to draw a card for each creature I control, and I will also gain 4 life for each creature with 4 or more power. Draw 3, but draw 6, and then gain 12, but gain 24.
So I think I'm okay to respond here. I'm going to pay 2 for a Terminate. Destroy target creature, can't be regenerated, for your larger angel. And then you will take 1 from Sir Conrad, and I'll drain you for 1 more with Blood Artist.
Is this good to resolve?
That is good to resolve.
All right, so I will gain 16,
My god.
and I will draw 4.
Huh.
Okay, I will pass the turn.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to sacrifice Sakura Tribe Elder. You'll take a damage, and you'll lose life, and I will gain 1.
I'm going to flash in the Archivist of Ugma. It's a flash 2/2 that says whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain a life and get to draw a card. So I will draw and... Oh yeah, I get to draw an extra one. And when the Archivist comes into play, I get to trigger the Elder, and I will choose the gain 4, which will be gain 8. I will also draw 2 more from being the Monarch, and I'll have to discard some more spells. Let's discard Nature's Lorna Land.
To finish the end of your turn, we'll do 2 instances of Sir Conrad's Mill. Each player mills a card. So we'll do 1 and 1. I have a land and a land. And then next card.
Land.
And a land. Okay.
Land.
So nothing from that.
And fetching your swamp makes you a zombie, right?
It does.
Woo!
Gain 2.
There's no way I could throw this game, right?
You are looking like an Olympic shot putter right now.
I'm going to start paying 4 for a Decimate. Now that they're finally the correct targets for this, I will target the Alhammaret's Archive, Authority of the Consuls, Silverback Elder, and Strip Mine, all destroyed. There was an egg there, so I'm going to make an insect and draw a card.
Yes, and also a creature died, so you have some triggers as well.
Yes, they did. So
Boop.
that is right. Blood Artist and Sir Conrad. I'll pay 3 for Generous Patron. Enters the battlefield, support 2, so I put a +1/+1 counter on up to 2 other target creatures, and then when I put 1 or more counters on a creature I don't control, I draw a card. I will put a counter on the Skeleton, and I am going to put a counter on the Archivist.
Okay.
So I'll draw 1. I'll go to combat. I'll swing this 5/2 menacing skeleton and this 12/12 orc army.
He said with confidence.
That has to do it, right?
I will block the zombie and take 5.
Take 5. I'm going to steal Monarch and Undercity.
And I lose 1 extra life for my creature dying, so I take 6.
You lose 2 Blood Artist and Sir Conrad.
6, 7.
And I will gain 1. And that puts me to the Throne of the Dead 3. I'm going to reveal a top 10 and I get one of these creatures that gets 3 counters and is hexproof till my next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's Shieldred. I'm going to shuffle. This gets 3 counters and is hexproof until my next turn. All right, at this point, let's just at least make sure that I can't die to some damage. I'm going to play a Skull Clamp. I'm going to pay 1, take a damage. I'm going to clamp one of my insects. Yeah, I gained 4 off of Shieldred. One of my creatures died, so that's 2 more to Nerdgirl, and I gain 1. I will play this Strip Mine as my land for turn. That will make 1 more zombie. I'll pay 1 more, eat 1 more insect, gain my 4 life, and 2 more to Nerdgirl.
Boop, boop.
All right, I will pass the turn, and
All
I
right.
gain 1 off the Blood Artist.
I'm going to lose 2.
And then I'll draw from the Monarch at the end of turn.
It's been 7 days.
For 4, we're going to cast Healing Technique. It allows me to return a card from my graveyard to my hand. I gain life equal to that card's mana value. Get the archive.
Yeah, seems good.
So I'll gain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead and just recast the archive. I'm going to cast Soul Warden and an Esper Sentinel, and I'll gain 2. And I'll pass the turn.
1 green open? If I get blown out by a fog, that's you know what? I deserve it. At the end of your turn, I will lose a life and activate Sir Conrad. We each mill 1 card.
It's an enchantment.
It is an artifact. All right, all on top. I'm moving to the secret entrance. I'm going to search for a basic.
We haven't done that all video.
Here's a snow-covered mountain. I'm going to draw my card for the turn. I will gain 2 life. I'm going to play a snow-covered mountain as land for turn. That will give me a zombie.
I will gain 2 more life.
That's right. Sequence correctly as I have all game. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 for Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. 2 for protection from humans. Pay a life and sack a creature. Put a -1 counter on up to 1 target creature and draw a card, or pay 2 and discard a card to proliferate. I'm going to sacrifice the new zombie to remove your Esper Sentinel.
I'll gain 2.
And then that's a creature that died, so you will lose a life, I'll gain a life, and you'll take a damage. I'll sacrifice an insect and kill the Soul Warden.
So I lose.
So 2 more, though. And draw that card. All right, and then we just have an angel in the way. I'm going to cast the Snuff out, and I'm just going to pay the life for it. I pay 4 instead of paying its cost. Destroy target non-black creature.
Okay. Dead.
You're too calm, but we're just going to have to do the thing. All right, I'm going to go to combat, and we're going to full send.
That would be lethal.
It is lethal?
Oh my god. We are once again speaking recklessly at this table. Get in the comments, do the math about how many counters would be on this board right now if Lathiel hadn't been hit. We would be looking at like a 15-15.
Sitting and watching the final battle between Nerdgirl and Veggie was really good. I was honestly thinking Nerdgirl was going to pull it out because I could see Veggie's hand and it was not good.
And don't forget, today's featured sponsor is the Elven Throne Kickstarter.
If you love the intricacies of Magic the Gathering and the fun social aspect, then make sure to head to the Elven Throne Kickstarter and click Notify Me on launch so that you don't miss when this new game releases.
I think it's time to swing for...
Hammy.
Hammy knows what evil lies in her heart.
It's my fault. I was petting him and I stopped. That's for my turn, and so he got jelly.
As delicious as it would have been to see Veggie snatch defeat from the jaws of victory yet again, I'm always happy to see a life gain player lose.
One of the easiest ways to support the show without really changing anything for anyone is by getting any of your Magic card singles from Tales of Adventure. They have an incredible selection of both your most basic versions of the cards all the way up to the most premium versions.
I also hear they have excellent jingles. So if you guys would like to support us, make sure you guys head on over to Tales of Adventure or TOA. You can find a link and a discount code for 5% off down below in the description.
A Tolly trigger. I know you have one in your hand, and infinite draws off this. You ain't getting I had a pretty sick win in hand if Veggie didn't kill my hammer. I had Heliod's Intervention and a Johnny's Strength of the Pride, which was gonna let me just win. And even then, I was still just a few lands short of doing it anyway, and then missed it by a turn when I needed to recur the archive. It was close.
Moxfield is the best deck list site available. It has everything you need to customize, compare, and collaborate. View and brew the way that works for you. Moxfield is the only way that we can track and share all of our spiciest builds here on the show, and whatever Veggie is playing. Make sure to follow our Moxfield profile in the link in the description.
If it does not look like it came straight out of the ovipositor, I'm gonna be very upset.
The ovipositor? Yeah. What the hell's an ovipositor?
It puts eggs in things.
Oh, obviously. My bad.
You know,
Yeah, come on.
You know, ovipositor?
how clowns procreate.
Yeah, are you not tied
Don't
in?
keep
Are you
that.
not tied
No,
into
that's the-
Pennywise hentai?
Cut all of this.
Keep it. The people
I'm
need
sorry.
to know.
This is for the patrons.
I was like,
People
I know where I can leave
The
this.
people need to know.
Should not have. It turns out that overwhelming card advantage and board control leads to a win. Maybe I'll start including some of those things in my decks, but I think it's probably unlikely.
Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in TCG accessories. We love their stuff, and we know you will too. In fact, every single playmat, sleeve, or deck box featured on this show is an Ultimate Guard product. So make sure to use the link in the description to support our channel and treat yourself to some amazing upgrades.
You didn't take the monarchy? What are you doing over there?
Adjusting my insect head, you know.
Thanks to movie magic, it hasn't been 4 days since we began playing this game of Commander.
Special thank you to our patrons. Without your support, these episodes would not be possible.
Yes, it's thanks to patrons like you, Gabe, that we're able to put the show on every week, and that means so much to us.
So if you would like to become a part of the show, make sure you head on over to our Patreon where you can unlock exclusive perks, signed tokens, spell table games with us, or even have your deck featured here on the show.
And of course, Gabriel, you can always support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That's all we've got for you for today. We'll see you next time on
Decked Out.